The way China will respond is when we get. I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. Well, folks, eliminate one. I'm also the only guy. My long friend, Tom. The pandemic is that those poor people. I'm beginning to see. We hold these truths to be. Donald Trump thinks healthcare is. We choose unity. President Trump. Avoid having. We need to work again with SACs, but we lead by strengthening. We have this demanding that we provide efficient de-escalate. The way China will respond is when we gather the rest of the world that in fact believes in free in open trade and making sure that we're in a position that the world that we deal with WHO. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth, $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 billion. I'm also the only guy that got assault weapons banned, and the number of clips in a gun banned. My long friend, time friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life. The pandemic is that the president has no intercourse whatsoever with the rest of the world. I'm dealing with these things. And those poor people who have lost. Anyway, I'm beginning to see why your wife left you. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. Donald Trump thinks healthcare is a privilege. Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. President Trump and the demagogues around the world avoid having an excuse to walk by the dealer and say, no, I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom. We need to work again with Canada and Mexico as neighbors, not as adversaries. Saks or Benetton's or Nike or whatever in the market in their places where the malls. But we lead by the example of our power, not just the power, not just the example of our power, but the example we're out by strengthening. We have this demanding that we provide a de-escalate. Trump. I learned. Well, folks, I'm also the pandemic. We hold Donald Trump. We choose President. Avoid. We need to work SACs, but we lead by the example of our power, not just the power, not just the example of our power, but the example we're out there, and it's what we say. By strengthening. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Demanding that HIV/AIDS be designated, destigmatized and treated. We provide efficiency for appliances. That saves billions of gallons of gasoline. I mean, billions of $2.3 billion worth of, $500 billion in savings and